Hey, what's going on, guys? So we'll be taking a look at this brand new release from Urban Armor Gear. This is the Trooper case for the iPhone 6 and 6S. This was released like a week ago or something like that, and it is the third kind of case that Urban Armor Gear offers for the iPhone 6 or 6S. They have their Folio cases, they have their Trooper series of cases, which was just released, and then they have their standard composite cases, which is definitely the most popular in their kind of original cases. So what's special about this case in comparison to the other cases is it just kind of has a back compartment here. So there's a nice little hinge door that just kind of opens up, and then it reveals a nice little compartment in which ideally you place up to 4 cards, but you can of course put in like coins or cleaning cloths or a bunch of different things in here. Basically whatever you want. It just has this nice little compartment that you can kind of store whatever you want in the back of the case, which is a very, very nice thing here. The packaging here is nothing special. It's just like all of Urban Armor Gear's other packaging. It does say there's some information about it. It says it holds up to 4 cards, it's impact resistant, and it is feather light. Literally all we get in the box here is the phone case. I don't think there was any manual or anything like that. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory how to use a phone case, but I was surprised there wasn't any like contact card or anything like that. I'm pretty sure the only thing in the box was the case. I remember getting Urban Armor Gear cases with screen protectors, but I think they kind of stopped doing that, so now you just get the case itself. To start this off, I'll just kind of show you the differences between the standard composite case from Urban Armor Gear and the new Trooper case. Obviously, one of the main things we will notice is the difference in thickness, because the composite case doesn't have a storage compartment on the back, so obviously the Trooper case is a lot thicker. The other thing we notice are the hinges on the side of the Trooper case. Obviously, there aren't any hinges on the composite case. However, the back of the case is still a familiar design. Urban Armor Gear changed it up a little bit. Gone are the kind of rubber grommets here and then the holes in the back. It's almost inverted from their composite case. What's kind of cut out on the composite case is actually raised up on the Trooper case. So while it is still a familiar design, you can obviously see there are some differences. As for the weight of them, the Trooper case is actually not all that much heavier than the composite case. I'm kind of surprised to see this just because of the thickness. There's obviously a lot more material used in the Trooper case just because, like I said, it's a bigger case. I was surprised to see the weight is actually very, very comparable. I'm not sure exactly how much either one weighs, but they feel almost about the same. Obviously this one's a little bit heavier, but I was expecting it to be like twice the weight of this one, and it is nowhere near that. Urban Armor Gear definitely advertises feather light on the box of all of their cases, and that is definitely the case with the Trooper case as well as the composite case here. So now we'll of course put the case on the actual phone. To that I would recommend opening this piece up here just because it makes the case overall more flexible. As you can see, it's more flexible like this. When you have it closed, however, it's a lot more rigid, and so I definitely recommend opening the little flap here before installing the phone. The installation is very, very easy with Urban Armor Gear cases. It's a simple one-piece case, so you just kind of slip your phone in on this side. I recommend putting in the side with the buttons and mute switch first, just so it's not pushing against all these buttons. It's still pushing against your sleep-wake button, which isn't ideal. However, it's better than pushing against all these buttons. So I'd recommend putting in the left side of the phone first. You just kind of push it in this side, and then once you have the left side in, you can just kind of push along the side here, and then the phone will of course snap into place. Once you've done that, you can simply close the back of the compartment here, and then we have the phone installed in the case. It's a very simple installation. To get the phone out of the case, you do have to open up this back here because, like I said, it's very rigid when the storage door is closed. So to actually take the phone out of the case here, you simply open this, and then you can kind of peel away at the sides here. It's a little difficult still, but if you, I mean, it's especially harder on camera, but if you just kind of push on the side here like this, then you should be able to get a corner of the phone out, and then you can kind of put your finger through here and kind of keep pushing it out a little bit, and then you should be able to get your phone out without too much hassle. That is one of the main things I was worried about with this case, is just the ease of getting my phone out of it. However, I didn't have any problems with that whatsoever. If you've owned an Urban Armor Gear case in the past, this Trooper case will be very familiar to you. You kind of have all the main features of the Urban Armor Gear case, and the storage compartment on the back is just kind of added on. The Trooper case isn't completely redesigned from the composite case. It's almost like they just took the composite case and added a storage compartment in the back, which is a very good thing because you have all the things people love about Urban Armor Gear cases with the addition of a storage compartment. However, I'll just kind of review this as if you have no idea what an Urban Armor Gear case is. So on the side here we have this great overlay for the sleep-wake button. This is probably my favorite thing about Urban Armor Gear cases, along with the other things they'll get into, but rather than just having like a solid overlay or something like that that makes the button all mushy and whatnot, or just having a simple cutout, what Urban Armor Gear has done is put a little piece of rubber over this. However, it's just like a strip of rubber. So as you can see, this little strip of silver here is actually the phone. So while of course the rubber piece here is covering the sleep-wake button, this little slit here makes it so the rubber is very easy to push in. So basically it feels exactly like your actual phone's button, with the addition of protection and grip for the button, which is very nice. The same deal here on the volume rocker here, and then the volume rocker is outfitted with little engravings that say plus and minus, which of course corresponds with volume up and volume down. The mute switch here is just a cutout. I'm not really sure how they would design that any differently. However, the cutout for the mute switch is definitely big enough. I've never had any problems accessing the mute switch or anything like that, and I've been using Urban Armor cases for like 4 years now, so you definitely won't have any problems with the mute switch. This is the iPhone 6s in this case. As I noticed a considerable improvement over the composite case. For the composite case, notice that the 6s ports are a little off. If you put a 6s in a composite case, because the composite cases are designed for both the iPhone 6 and 6s, I've noticed that the composite cases fit on the iPhone 6 perfectly, but then the cutouts for the 6s are a little bit off. That is not the case, however, on this Trooper series of case. You can see that this was kind of designed for the iPhone 6s, and then the iPhone 6 kind of came second. So I'm guessing the cutouts for the iPhone 6 are a little bit off, but the 6s ports are perfectly fine. Protection-wise, this case is excellent, just like all Urban Armor Gear cases. I believe each Urban Armor Gear case is drop tested 26 times from a height of 48 inches in order to achieve its military drop tested certification. In order to pass the test, the phone does have to be in perfect condition, but just by kind of feeling and looking at the phone in the case, you can tell that it is a very rugged case, just because you have all the scuff pads and things like that around the sides of the phone. Every single corner is reinforced with quite a bit of rubber. As you can see up here, there is extra rubber on each of the corners of the phone. So if you were to drop your phone and it were to impact the corner, of course the shock from the drop would spread throughout the case rather than hitting your phone screen or something like that. We also have a pretty good lay on the table design here. As you can see, the case actually comes up above the iPhone screen here, even though I have a glass screen protector on. So if you don't have a glass screen protector on, the case will come well above your iPhone screen, but even though with a glass screen protector on, the case still does come up a bit above the iPhone screen. So if you were to drop your phone on its face, then the case would protect your phone screen theoretically. You definitely want a glass screen protector, just because even if the ground does hit your phone screen will be okay, but the case should protect it a little bit. It doesn't protect the face as well as it protects all the corners and things like that, but unless you get really unlucky, you shouldn't really have any problems with your phone getting any damage while it is in this case. Another feature that kind of came with this Trooper case that I'm not sure Urban Armor Gear really had in mind while designing the case, it just kind of happened as a result of the thickness of the case, is the lack of glare for the camera lens. So because the case is actually so thick, the camera lens is pretty far back in the case. It's not like ridiculously thick. I want to say the camera lens is like a 1/4 inch back from the case here. And so that will actually provide a nice little kind of camera hood. So if there is some glare from the sun or something like that, the sun will theoretically hit the top of the case here, protecting the camera lens from glare and things like that, which should result in some better pictures. I think the situation in which you're taking the picture and has to be very perfect for you to actually notice this difference, but you might notice it sometimes, and it's just kind of nice that the thickness of the case is actually beneficial to your picture taking. So obviously the main part of the Trooper case here is this storage compartment on the back. To access the storage compartment, we open this little window door on the back here. There is a nice little tab on the side, if you can see this here. There's this nice little tab, and if you just kind of put your thumb in here and you can kind of open it. I found that it is a little difficult to open at times, but as you kind of use the case more, it becomes easier, just because it kind of wears in a little bit. And yeah, so as you can see, there are nice little plastic hooks here, and these plastic hooks is how the door stays closed. So the plastic hooks go into the holes on the side of the case here, so the door does stay closed very well. I haven't had any problems with opening or anything like that. And like I said, it's a little difficult to open just because of how secure it is, but I definitely prefer that over randomly coming open and losing my cards or whatever I have in here. So you definitely don't have to worry about the door coming open when you're not wanting it to or anything like that. And then when you do open the door, you see the nice little storage compartment in the back here. On the box, it advertises that the storage compartment holds 4 cards. However, I fit 5 in here with no problems. There are little rubber tabs here. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show you this, but there are nice little rubber tabs here that kind of hold the cards in place once you have them in here. And so if you put 4 in here, they come up perfectly to the little rubber tab. However, you can fit a 5th card on top of that, and this will still close and hold the cards all securely. So you can definitely fit 5 cards in here. However, these were 5 gift cards. They weren't like credit cards. So with credit cards and things like that, they have the writing on the front, so you may only be able to fit 4 credit cards just because they're a little thicker than gift cards, but I fit 5 gift cards in here, no problem. Now obviously you don't have to put cards in here if you don't want to. You can use this for change or a cleaning cloth or just straight up cash or anything like that. It does have a perfect size compartment for cards, but obviously, like I said, you can put whatever you want in here. So you'll have whatever you're storing in here and your phone all combined into one nice little package. I find this especially useful for running or something like that. Like if I'm going to run to the store, I don't want to carry a wallet and my phone, so I can just kind of put a card or some cash in the back of the phone here, just kind of put the phone in my pocket and then run to the store, and I only have to carry my phone and I don't have to carry a wallet and my phone and all of that. So if you've been keeping up with the channel for any period of time and you've kind of watched some of my iPhone case reviews, you know that I really do not like bulky cases whatsoever. That is why I've been using standard Urban Army Gear composite cases for the last 4 years or so. I'm not sure if I've been using them for quite 4 years, maybe 3, but definitely a very long time. And I haven't used any other case for an extensive period of time in that 3-year span, just because I've loved Urban Army Gear cases so much. However, since the Trooper case came out, I'm actually thinking I will switch to the Trooper case over the composite case. This is a big deal for me just because of how long I've been using Urban Army Gear's composite case, and because this is a bulky case. I really do not like bulky cases. Like, I will not touch battery cases or folio cases or anything like that just because they're kind of just bulkier and annoying. However, how Urban Army Gear designed this case made it so this case is still completely comfortable to use on my phone. It definitely is a lot thicker than the composite case, as I showed you here, but this is just the standard size case that I've been using for the last 3 or so years. And in comparison, the Trooper case is almost twice as thick as the composite case. So like I said, this is a big deal if I've been using the composite case for 3 years, but how the Trooper case is designed makes me not have any problems using it. It definitely felt a little bulky at first just because of the thickness. The weight and everything like that is fine, but the thickness is the main thing I noticed. However, after about 2 days, I didn't have any problems with the thickness whatsoever, and the addition of the storage in the back made this a very worthwhile case for me. I want to say the addition of this little door here actually adds more structure to Urban Army Gear's case, and so I want to say it's almost more protected than the composite case here, because if you kind of open this, you can see that even this case would be protective. Like, this is all kind of rubber here and this would still be protective, but when you kind of close this door here, it just kind of adds structure to the case and makes it very protective. So this has been my review of the new Trooper case from Urban Army Gear for the iPhone 6 and 6S. This is of course the white version, as I'm sure you can tell. However, they also sell a black version and a kind of rusty orange version. These are the only 3 colors they sell at this time. I'm sure they will add more colors in the future, because for their composite cases they have like 8 colors and things like that. They have a bunch of different colors, but for their Trooper case they only have 3 currently. However, I hope they will add more. So if you guys enjoyed this video, then a like rating is always appreciated, and if you dislike the video, then feel free to dislike the video, but please leave a comment kind of telling me what I could improve upon and all that, because I'll always like to improve my videos. Anyway, this has been Jordan from Joe Reviews. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next review.